We are recording.
All right, we're recording. Let's go, people. Oh yeah, Mike. I'm not gonna lie to you. I spent most of the day outdoor drinking. This is a seltzer, but the last several drinks I had were not family friendly, so to speak. So if I go off the handle today, I'm not sorry.
Right,
I had a great damn day. I'm sorry. I did. I went. I had a dog brunch with my girlfriend and my
dog.
dog.
Drunk at a dog brunch?
I got drunk at a dog. Not drunk, but like buzz at a dog brunch. I had a great day. I had a fun day petting dogs, watching the Yankees lose, watching Spain beat England in the Europe, whatever the hell you call that, the European Championship for soccer.
Oh, the soccer. Football.
It was cool, man. Honestly, it was cool because the bar we were at, there were like a good 20 people sitting outside on picnic tables, huddled around this outdoor TV, watching it. It was cool. It was in Brooklyn, of course.
Nice.
Where else would you go to a dog brawl? Oh, actually, no, that's a Manhattan thing too. But sure. Been outdoor drinking. I had fun. We got. I don't want to talk about the Yankees loss today. It sucked, but
they blew it.
These things happen throughout the course of a season. You're going to get games that you should have won, and then you're going to get games you shouldn't have won. This is one that you fucking had in the bag, and it didn't work. But whatever, man. Let's all take a rest. It's now the All-Star break, Michael.
Thank God.
The All-Star break. This team needs some rest. You can tell. Although I will say they were starting to turn it around a little bit in the last week or so. It's getting a little better. Overall, pretty strong first half. Wouldn't you say?
Up until June. June was like one of the worst months of the franchise's history. But they started really. You know, the first couple games against the Astros, like the first game, I remember we were all like, "Oh, here we go," and then. They won the series, and then Aaron Judge didn't get started until like May, and now he's got 33 home runs, which is insane before the All-Star break. And then the Yankees were playing like the best team in baseball until June. They played the Dodgers and they fell apart. So they've been better the last few games. You know, they won the series with Baltimore despite today's loss. Baltimore hasn't been doing good either, so they somehow made up ground.
That's the saving grace. And look, I prefer to be a glass half full kind of guy, because one of the things that when you're interacting with other fans online, or you meet a fan of another random, because when I say random, it sounds sort of insulting, but when you meet a fan of a lesser popular team, to put it nicely, if someone's a fan of like the Cincinnati Reds or the Colorado Rockies or whatever, they don't feel bad for us as Yankee fans. And so the thing is, there are a lot of teams that would be whose fan bases, if you would have told them that you're going to be one game out of first place in your division at the All-Star break, I would say 30 out of 30 teams would sign up for that, honestly. And the only teams that might not want to be in that position would be like the Dodgers or maybe this year's Phillies. But other than that, there are a lot of fan bases that would sign up for that. So right now, when you factor in the fact that the June was awful, it was as bad as it was, I'm going to say, you know what? Glass half full. Let's rock. Let's get to the second half.
I hope so. I got a little excited because I was on Twitter and I follow Gary Sheffield Jr., Gary Sheffield's son, hence the junior. And
how old are we, by the way, that we're following all the sons of the guys we grew up watching? You know, it's like Vlad Guerrero Jr. and all these
Dante Bichette's son. What's Dante Bichette's son on Toronto? What's his name?
I don't even know. It doesn't DJ LeMahieu's kid play for the Orioles or something? Like all these people, not DJ LeMahieu. Somebody's kid. Somebody used to play for the Yankees, plays for the there's probably, all these people's kids. Phil Nevin. Doesn't Phil Nevin's kid play for the I don't know. But the fact is, maybe all these dudes we grew up watching, their kids are now playing, and their kids are like 20 and we're old, and it's a weird thing, man, when you're pushing 40 and you're seeing
pushing. I'm over it.
Well, yeah, sure. When you're around
pushing 45 soon. A couple years.
Us elder millennials. Okay? It's a weird thing when you're watching that. I'll just say that.
Well, Gary Sheffield Jr., what happened? There was a post about Jazz Chisholm on the Marlins. He did I forget what he did. He did something. And Gary Sheffield Jr. retweeted it and said, "Future Yankee." And I was like, yes, please. Can you imagine taking him at second base over Glaber?
Well, here's the thing. I like Glaber. People don't
Everybody likes him. Yeah, he's just not doing
like 19 or 20. he's only entering his prime. He's like 25 or 26, right? He's young still. He's young.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
And so I think it's really, a lot of people act like he's like a 39-year-old, he's over the hill and his career's over. Nah, dude. Even if they don't resign him, he's going to go and he's going to sign an 8-year deal somewhere probably for a good amount of money. And he's going to be a major leaguer for the next 10 years. He's a decent player.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Superstar, maybe not, but he's a good player. And so people, I want to say people shit on him too much and they're way too eager to trade him. I'll say that. With that being said, I think he's high, like while he plays sometimes. Because
you think he's high?
The base running and defensive mistakes he makes sometimes are very elementary.
He goes to dog brunches before the game, and he kicks back a few,
pounds back a few Presidentes before he hits the field.
Well, look, if he does better, it's good for the Yankees, and if they want to trade him, that means he's good trade material.
Well, back to what you were saying, I would love to have Sheffield Jr. And I honestly, man, I hope he has
Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm.
Okay. Gary Sheffield Jr. retweeted it. I think Gary Sheffield Jr. is just like a reporter.
I have my freaking air conditioner on.
Yeah.
I hope that didn't come out in the recording up until now.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. I just got Gatorade up my nose for a second there. That was weird.
I miss Sheffield because I love guys who talk crap. I miss that whole era of guys who talk crap. That whole, I don't like that things are kind of back to being business-like for the Yankees now. I mean, I like guys like
Yankees.
Yeah, I think it's lame. I like the dudes that like Gary Sheffield that will talk a little crap. Even David Wells who talk a little. Even some guys who weren't on the Yankees like Josh Beckett, guys who will just talk a little crap. I like that. And I feel
David Cohn was no joke. We've seen him in fights. These got Strawberry, Gooden.
I like that. We need that. And sometimes I'll sign a player who I think's going to be that, and then he doesn't do that. Although I will say, did you see the Josh Donaldson tweet? He doesn't play for the Yankees anymore.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of it? Should I pull up a picture of this? Do we have it?
We can put it up in post.
Okay. So basically, even though he's no longer with the team, he talked a bunch of crap to the Orioles, and he basically said to
one of their fans, right? It was a fan.
Somebody, I don't exactly know what it was, but somebody said I'll paraphrase. He said, "Enjoy the next 3 or 4 years where all these great young players are on your team before they sign with the Dodgers, Red Sox, and Yankees."
I know.
That is good. Quite mean. Also, a lot of people who don't follow the sport to the level that we do wouldn't know this, but the O's actually have a new ownership group. Right. So I don't know if that's accurate anymore. I actually could see them honing up the money in a few years, and I can see this core being together for a decade. So I don't know if it's accurate, but it's still funny.
No, it's really funny. I mean, that's just been the way of the game forever. At some point, you're on the small market team. They're floating around in mediocrity and they go off to one of the bigger name teams. But you're right. Lately, we have seen some of these smaller market teams, Baltimore, the Pirates, have these young players and they get better. And it's like, oh, they're kind of back. They're not looking to give people away just yet. So,
well, that's interesting about
the Reds,
what's happening this year in baseball, because especially in the NL, and I like the two teams you just mentioned, the Pirates and Reds, those teams are in contention right now. They're only a few games out of a playoff spot as I say this. And so this trade deadline this year, I guess we can talk a little bit about the trade deadline. I'm not hearing any strong rumors of any superstars moving right now. I hear
nothing.
I would like to. I think this is finally the year, or at least it should be if they're smart, where the Angels pull Mike Trout aside and they say, "Go look, we're going to rebuild for the next 6 years. If you want to go to a team that doesn't suck, we can trade you and get some really good assets. We'd love to do that. If you want to stick here, we'd love to have you, but just know that we're going to be terrible for like a while." And I would like to see him go to another team that actually
the Dodgers
to do something. It'd be funny if they traded him to the Giants. That'd be very funny. I think they're the only teams that could afford him. That also the team that needs him when he's not hurt, because he's actually good offensively.
Well, I think he grew up a Phillies fan. He grew up in South Jersey. So can you imagine he went to the Phillies? Forget it. I don't want to even think about it. Because the Phillies are insane this year.
That team is
stacked.
They're so stacked. It's crazy. They finally they've been just picking up superstars every year or two for the last half decade, and now they just have an entire team of superstars. It's crazy. I mean, if you look at a guy like a Nick Castellanos, on most teams, he's like the second best, or if not the best batter, maybe the third best batter. He's like, I don't even know, like their 6 or 7 hitter.
Right.
It blows my mind how good that lineup is. And so, that'd be crazy if he said, I'm not gonna waive my no trade unless you specifically send me there. That'd be very funny. I love to see. I have nothing against the Phils. I have a buddy from Philly. I think Philly's it's an East Coast city. It's a hard city like New York. So they're cool. But back to what you mentioned a minute ago, the Pirates and the Reds, teams like that are in contention, sort of, and teams like the Mets are in contention, sort of. Yeah. So you have a lot of these teams that are fringe contenders who, why would they sell?
They're not,
Because the thing is, if you're 2 games out of the All-Star break or whatever those teams are right now, you're not going to sell. You're going to try to either going to stand pat, or you're going to try to pick up 1 or 2 pieces and try to see if you get hot, and then you get in. So it's not like it usually is, where the bigger market teams can shop around and sort of treat them, the other smaller market teams, like a farm league teams. It is a situation where there's just not many available players right now. So the fact that, and look, nothing against Jazz Chisholm, whatever the hell his name is, but he's the guy for the Marlins.
Jazz Chisholm,
Chisholm. Sorry, I missed.
You said Chisholm, like Shirley Chisholm.
Chisholm, yeah.
Well, she's in.
I wasn't sure if it was the L. Anyway, I've only
is L silent.
I've only read the name in articles. I don't really watch
baseball
Marlins
cards.
Games.
Right.
And no one watches Marlins games. I went to a Marlins game 3 years ago, and there were less than 5,000 people there. It was literally like a AA minor league level of attendance. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But the thing is, nothing against him, but the fact that he's the big rumor on the market kind of goes to show you that there's a real scarcity right now of, or scarcity, whatever.
Scarcity. Chisholm City.
Like I said, I've been fucking drinking all afternoon, man. I don't know
those dogs, man.
But the fact is, there's not many players available, and so it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens at the trade deadline. And the few players are available, they're going to see some crazy overpays this year. You're going to see like 3 and 4 decent prospects for like a B+ level player this year at the trade deadline. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing with the Yankees, I guess, just to cap this off. Is who are they going to trade? Because they don't want to trade any of their young prospect stars. They're not going to trade Spencer Jones, Peraza.
Left to trade too.
And then
a lot in that Soto trade.
Yeah, and then obviously Rizzo's hurt. They're not going to trade him. LeMahieu, he doesn't have a lot left to offer, unfortunately, because he's just old now. So like, who are they going to trade? So I don't. I'm sure they'll do something. But they just need to kind of plug in some of these holes, and they need the break, and they need to go drinking with dogs.
Yes, they do.
They have to go to brunch.
So I'll take that as a good cap right there. Yeah. So let's talk basketball for like a couple minutes, and then we're going to get to the fun stuff, the reaction stuff. The Knicks.
The whole show's the fun stuff.
That is true. The Knicks, they extended a star, and I will echo something that I said in the previous episode that we are. Oh, there you go. He got the.
Yeah. They're just sitting on my printer.
just changing the
at the ready.
That way. Now, do you do that so when you go through and editing, what we're talking about, or do you just do that to get in the spirit of it?
No, but that's a good idea. I should wear a different hat for each segment.
Wear a different hat for each segment.
Where we are.
I will say, man, the anticipation for the upcoming season, I can feel it, man. It's palpable in the city. The casuals and the hardcores, everyone agrees, like, it might actually be the year. It might actually be the year. It might actually happen this time.
It's going to be better than this last year because everybody's stacking up. And the Knicks, after getting Mikal Bridges, re-signing OG, they extended the contract of Jalen Brunson. So who left $131 million on the table so the team can help rebuild some more. And
right there,
that's amazing.
That's how you do well with the fans. You say, hey, it's one thing to make money, but what can't you buy for $170 million, right? So he goes, you know what? We'll hold off on that part for now. You can give me more later. Let's build an actual winner here.
Let's win.
Yeah. Let's go lose in the conference championship or maybe the finals this year.
Yeah. No, and I think apparently like he's gonna get a whole ton of money in a couple of years anyway, so he'll make it up. So maybe it seems like a really share, but I think in the back of his mind he's like, I can hold off for now, But no, I think he seems like the type of guy like, look, I want to win. So it's exciting. He's coming back. I didn't think he was going to go anywhere, but he's, they extended. That's signed and extended. That's one word, extended.
Any of these guys are going anywhere. I'm going to say this right now. I think what they built with the you got the Nova Knicks plus the pieces that they put around him. I think all of these guys are sitting there going like, I like these guys. I like this city. We're good.
You got to.
Why would I go somewhere else?
Yeah.
I think they're all thinking that right now. So I think this whole team might be together for like 3 or 4 years. I can really see this being. Obviously, you can't use the D word until you've won at least a championship or two. But this is going to be a team I think that's going to be there for a while, and they're going to be really, really good. And it's just exciting. It's exciting to feel that hope for the first time since the early 90s.
What's the D word?
Dynasty.
That's a good D word. I was thinking.
Oh, you thought I was going to use a different D word.
Well, you can go a lot of ways with that, but okay, yeah. How about we watch some fights? Hell
yeah, let's go. What do we got?
Well, let's go to this one first. Let's say this: we got the Olympics coming up very soon. Right now, all the qualifying events are going on. So we do have an Olympic skirmish, if you will, but let's go to this because this just happened the other night on the 12th. Yankees, Orioles, and Clay Holmes is.
Oh yeah. This is the. I will say this: hit play, and at risk of looking like John Boy wannabes, because that hit. I mean, I've watched it probably a dozen or so times.
That's brutal
on Instagram. Oh, this guy's on concussion protocol now. He's out for
doing the alcohol test there. And
exactly.
That's what Phil should be doing right now.
He's okay to drive.
It hit him in the earpiece, which is good. I heard Susan Waldman talk about that.
That's why you wear helmets, kids. That's why you wear helmets.
And, I don't think he meant to hit him.
No, of course not.
Beautiful cinematography.
It was a very close game, and it was raining out. And the ball might have slipped, or the pitch might have gotten away from him. I don't really, I don't know exactly.
And the manager's coming in hot. Look at him. Here we go. Baltimore's manager, I forget his name. He's hot. Yeah, he's not hiding there. He's just
see what you did there. Okay.
They're going all in here. And he was jawing and yelling. And look, here's a replay. And Wells is trying to hold him back. I mean, Wells is like holding back the whole Orioles team. At least he's got gear on. And things got hot here. I mean, I don't know if we will see the 98 type brawl again.
We're recording this on Sunday night after the Yankees blew that save. I expected to see one of the big guys get beamed over the next 2 days, and they didn't do it. There was no brawls, no nothing. I really kind of expected them to get into it, but they didn't. Yeah. They might have been like, all right, it's too hot outside. We don't need to get into a brawl. Let's just play some ball.
Boone, he's running out there. You like
it's rare when the two guys that start the fight are the two managers, and that's allegedly what happened. Is that they were barking at each other, and then they said, "All right," and then they got out of the dugout. Usually, it's the player. Somebody gets beamed. So this one it's got a little bit of uniqueness to it in that it started differently than most of them start.
Yeah, I'm looking. There was I think a Baltimore Orioles fan and a Yankee fan. Yeah, if you look in the up in the left, these two guys on the left side. They're obviously supporting opposite teams, and they just happen to see a brawl. So they see him jumping up and down on the left side.
Right in the front row there. Yeah. That might be like a boyfriend and girlfriend or a brother sister or something like that. But
is that
is the price of admission too. And the thing I will say is this: is that the people that sit in the rich people sections like that are generally some of them are hardcores, but mostly they're just casuals because they're they're rich people. Right. They're like, oh, let's go sit a nice seat at the game. The real fans that are drinking at dog brunches like me, that we sit in the upper deck. All right, but good for them for being entertained by that. And because people like that sit there, that's what they want to see. They want to see some action. They want to see this kind of stuff. That's
a stinger. That's a stinger. And you don't want to see that ever.
No, it's terrible.
And I like Aaron Boone is like, yeah, I'm chilling.
Well, no, I think that was before the fight, wasn't it?
It was after.
It was after.
He's like, all right, we'll talk about it later.
You're right. Where's my double bubble?
Where's my double bubble? So hopefully the guy in the Orioles, Kierstad, he's okay. He gets over the concussion protocol.
Injuries. You're for injuries.
Yeah.
All right. So what we got next? You said we have an old school Olympic brawl. Is that right?
So this is technically the FIBA tournament, this is 2003, and this was the qualifying event. And the teams who did well in this went on to the Olympics. So this is 2003, Team USA versus Team Puerto Rico, and Tracy McGrady gets into it with a guy named Eddie Casiano. Take a look. Let's turn off the audio. So McGrady steals it from Casiano. He goes up and he says, "Did you lose this?" And dunks it in. And Casiano is not too happy about that. He bumps him, and they're talking some stuff. Mike Bibby says, "Hey, I'm bald, and we're going to break up the fight." Vince Carter comes running in, and they're like, "Hold on, chill out. This is the Olympics. We're supposed to be at our best. We're technically the same country. Kind of not, but we are." And the fans are throwing things onto the court. Unfortunately, you'll see a replay in a moment. I'll explain what happened. And he's pretty heated, and he doesn't want anybody holding. He's yelling at his own teammate. "Yo, get off me, B! Get off me, bro!"
Yeah.
And so here's what happened. So Cassiano's like, "Listen, NBA guy, I'm gonna show you up." So he
tries to bump him. She tries to give him tries to kind of box him out a little there, kind of bump him with his butt. Give him, he's backing that thing up, backing that ass up right there.
Yeah, and McGrady's like, "What are you doing, bro?"
This right here is the perfect metaphor for USA versus any other country at basketball. Like this, what happened right here? Because I feel like every time I turn on the USA versus any other country, the score is like 158-12.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Casiano started it. I mean, apparently Tracy McGrady said he thought he heard a whistle. That's why he stopped. But Casiano with the weird, I'm gonna do some kind of street ball move on you and act like a fool. Like this is Tracy McGrady, bro. Like, what are you doing?
Give that guy Casiano credit though, because he's a full 7 inches shorter than McGrady. No. And he's still like, "Let's go, bro. Let's do this."
Oh yeah, no, you give him credit for that. Look, he gets up. No, he's not showing me up. He's still bumping him. He's bumping him with his ass, his chest. They're all bumping. It's just the guy's like, "Guys, this is the whole world's looking at us. We can't fight right now, guys." So you see right here, I was saying the fans are throwing stuff, and this guy in Puerto Rico, boom, hit with a beer. And he's like, "That's not necessary."
Whoa, I didn't see that the first time we were watching this. Now, hold on, wait, can you play it back? What was the
beer?
What was the container that contained the beer? Was it like
plastic cup?
It was a plastic cup. And see, that right there, kids, is why we can't have glass bottles at stadiums anymore. It's because of fucking people like that.
Yeah, you'll notice it, and if you look in real time when it happened, see the guy just got hit. He's like, "Can I have a towel, please?" Now they're giving him a towel. The guy comes over, hands him a towel. It's like, "I just got hit with a beer." I mean,
that is the appropriate question to ask after you get hit in the shoulder with what looks like an almost full beer. I gotta also give credit to the fan, because that's hard to do, to throw a beer from a cup, because usually the liquid just goes flying if you hold it the wrong way. They actually had a way to throw it to keep it in there so it had some remnants of impact. So good for that. What I assume is a very drunk fan doing that. That's my people right there.
And beer isn't cheap, so that's a lot lot you're throwing at the
someone spent $17 to do that.
That's how that goes. Wasn't worth it. So that's as close as I could find any kind of Olympic brawl. I think there was a hockey one. I'm trying to figure out if these are in the Olympics or just
so. Let me say this: that was awesome.
Yeah,
but also we have to try our best to differentiate summer from winter Olympics. So I tried to find specifically, and I didn't know this, Mike. I learned this today because I was trying to look up like vintage ads for the Olympics, and I did find some, but I didn't know that there weren't separate winter and summer Olympics until like the early 90s. I did not know that.
What do you mean?
It was just So it was just the Olympics every 4 years, and then I think it was in 92 or 94 they branched it off to where it's every 2 years and it goes summer winter summer winter. Before then
it used to be the same year.
It was just the Olympics, and it was every 4 years. Yeah,
so, it was every right.
I found that out when I was trying to look up old because I was just going in increments of 4 back from 94 because everyone watched the the Nancy Kerrigan thing. And then I found out, there were no Olympics in certain years because I'm an idiot because I didn't know that. My dumb American ass had no idea about international sports as usual.
Yeah.
But I found 2 ads that had to do with, I forgot what year we're dealing with. We have I think we have a McDonald's ad and we have another one for Coca-Cola, and they're both great. They're from the 80s. This is going to be great. I'm excited about this. So,
all right, let's throw up the McDonald's ad first because I think this one is we want to save the best for last.
Ronald McDonald in good sports.
There's Sam, the Olympic Eagle, the official mascot of the 1984 Olympics.
Ronald, I'm trying to test this equipment for the Olympics. Can you help?
Leave it to me, Sam.
Jumping hurdles by 2, vaulting into the blue. Who can do it?
Whoa.
Ronald, that's who.
Thanks, Ronald. Now off to the Olympics.
See you there.
McDonald's.
Oh, boy. Lunch.
Ronald and you.
There's a lot to unpack there, Mike.
I don't know if that move is tech. I don't know if you can jump 2 hurdles. That might be a disqualification.
Yeah. Well, the thing I will say, the first thing I thought of when I was watching this was the poor stuntman that had to, because that right there was obviously like CGI or done with a pole, but some of this, they had to actually have someone who knew how to at least do whatever that gymnastics move is before.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to they said, look, we know you've been training for this since you were a kid and you're a good athlete. We need you to put on this Ronald McDonald makeup.
Yeah. The wig stayed on pretty well there. I'm trying to see if it came off.
Yeah. There's a lot that went into this. Also, they recorded a song for it too, apparently, because they were talking about like vaulting and stuff. And also Grimace before he made his Citi Field debut. Or maybe that was Grimace's dad. I don't know because we don't know about the Grimace family. But
is that Bernie Madoff with it? Who's the old guy? I forget the old. I don't remember. He was kind of phased out when I was very young, so I don't really remember.
I do not remember this at all. I don't actually. Yeah,
no, I was
hell is that?
3 years old, so I wouldn't have known. I forget the name of that character. The Eagle. Last I heard
this before.
The Eagle has a job. Sam the Eagle. He's doing commentary on Fox and Friends now. So that's things have changed quite a bit in the past 40 years. But that was another before the Dream Team. That was the pre-Dream Team because a lot of the guys on the Dream Team played in the '84 basketball team, like Jordan and Ewing, and that team was pretty good from what I understand. But I was busy being 3 and playing with He-Man, so I don't know.
So that guy's name is simply called Professor.
What does he profess? Like, what does he?
Apparently, love for hamburgers is what he professes. But Professor, again, this is something I'm just finding out now. It says it's from the 70s, and then so I assume that he was only there for 15ish years because if they said he was from the 70s, then that means that if they phased him out in the early 90s, 15, 20 years tops. And that's a good idea because like a weird old guy in a coat and like a flasher jacket that you show your dick to children with is not what you used to market to sell Happy Meals.
No,
so it kind of makes sense if they would phase something like that out. I
wouldn't have thought of that. That's
a good thing. Yeah, I found this Coca-Cola ad. I think we're gonna close at this today.
Yeah,
just play it. Just play it. I don't need. This one does not need an introduction, but we will break it down after.
Here we go.
Coca-Cola Company would like to salute all the 1984 Olympic athletes. The Italians, the English, the Germans, the Swedes, the Africans, the Irish, the Chinese, the Mexicans, the Brazilians, the Greeks, the French, the Poles. All those athletes of every heritage who will wear the uniform of the United States Olympic team. To Coca-Cola, to all of America, you are it.
Hey, I'm pumped up after that.
I gotta say, go you can't say Africans or Poles on TV anymore. I don't think. Right?
You could do, it's. I mean, it's one of those. I don't know, and like everybody is stereotypical looking. Like maybe there's the Greek freak. What's his name? Giannis is Greek. I mean, I know he was African descent or born in Africa, but he's Greek. Why they got to show the guy that looks like Uncle Jesse? You know, like
yeah. I just think that it's pretty funny that this ad is it is literally just naming off races.
Yeah, yeah. She looks at the camera like, don't look at the camera. We're trying to film.
She looks at the camera like, you know, like I'm the token white lady in this ad, and now it's about to get racist. She's like they showed her at the beginning to make all the middle American people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Before they started naming other races that exist. I think that
did they just say the Asians or did they say like
no,
Chinese?
They said the Chinese, which
they did say the Chinese. Okay.
Oh no,
yeah.
I mean, well,
maybe they were just assuming, you know.
Oh, I was watching this and I was half expecting them to be like, "Oh, and the Orientals," and I'm like, I was like,
right, in the 80s,
"Where's this going? Oh no, oh no, oh no!" Because some of these old ads you do, like this one and the old OJ one with the car.
Yeah,
we watched this with our modern eyes, and we're just like, "Oh Jesus, somebody wrote this," and no one in the corporate office was like, "Hey, maybe skip the it was all the racial undertones of all of this."
Yeah, that's what happens when everything was run by white guys. You know, it's just whatnot. Forget all the. I'm not even trying to be woke and all whatever people want to say. It's like if you're like the same type of person in the room and you have like the same mind frame, you're not even thinking. How could you don't have different ideas? So like they don't know. You know, they didn't know. I mean, and they were racist, so they were.
Either way, play it again. I want to hear it again.
Let's hear it again.
Let's do it again. We got to do it again.
The Coca-Cola Company would like to salute all the 1984 Olympic athletes. The Italians, the English, the Germans, the Swedes, the Africans, the Irish, the Chinese, the Mexicans, the Brazilians, the Greeks, the French, the Poles. All those athletes of every heritage who will wear the uniform of the United States Olympic team. To Coca-Cola, to all of America, you are it.
So I like when at the end they got to this guy and they were just like, to all the athletes, like, we don't know what he is.
We don't know what he is. Like
we don't know what these people are. Who is that though?
It's like I don't know if I don't know if these are actors or if these are actually some of the athletes that were from that year. I don't know because the thing is. Most Olympians, male or female, are just very good-looking people, and these are all very good-looking people. So, like, we don't even know. Again, I don't know if these were the athletes that were there, if they were actors that were hired for this commercial.
I think the German guy is definitely the German guy is definitely German. They got to this guy, everybody at the same time said the German.
The Swedes, the Africans, the Irish, the Chinese, the Mexicans.
Chinese,
like the Chinese, the Mexicans, and it's like, oh no,
this commercial reads like a hit list for Fox News. It's like, oh, the Chinese, it's just
because if they didn't start with like the Coca-Cola company would like to salute you, if they didn't start the ad that way, you'd think that like about halfway through the ad. There would just be like, and we're gonna build the wall this fall, like
that's
on NBC.
It's like, whoa, this is who we're kicking out if Trump becomes president, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The Chinese, the Asian, yeah. So this was an innocent time, the old Reagan era, and
this one, that's it.
There's not much more you could say. Coca-Cola trying to do their best, so at least it wasn't like the Pepsi commercial where they handed the Coke can during a protest. Or was it Kendall Jenner handed the Pepsi to the riot?
I gotta say, what, you're right, because and you mentioned like wokeness, and again, this is not a political show. I don't.
No, we don't.
You do you, but
you're joking. Yeah.
I will say that the one that makes me cringe more is the Kendall Jenner Pepsi one. This one is just kind of funny because it's dated. It's out of touch.
Right.
But back then I'm sure no one batted an eyelash. But when you look at it with your, in this very sensitive world we live in, you're just like, oh man, you could not say that today on television.
Yeah.
So I found that to be very interesting. That was a lot of fun.
That's like that read like a diversity mic list. It's like
that's exactly it. Like, these are the people that we're gonna let into the comedy club this year.
Oh boy. Hey, I got to tell you one thing. Honestly, one of the best things about doing comedy is meeting so many different kinds of people, because you realize people are people, and like when you hear people make fun of other types of people, it's like, well, you're an idiot because they're just people. And it's like the truest thing I've ever seen, no matter, I know I'm on my soapbox now, but like we're lucky to be in comedy for that reason. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the Coke commercial is rubbed off on me and I'm just feeling inspired to make a difference in the world. But
Mike's going to go jogging 4 miles immediately after we hit stop tonight.
Go jogging and give roses to people. And just
That's exactly it. We're going to end on that uplifting note.
Uplifting note. We never do that.
We usually don't. It's usually something super degrading where we run out of gas. This was fun. This is great. Let's we got more Olympics ads coming, and I'm excited about all of them. Stay tuned, kids.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you next week.